Oh yeah. What we got?
There we go.
I'm gonna start my video.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
and look at we got both videos working. The Twitch scene works perfectly. Let me see if I get this straight. The bald-headed Dawson is Dave.
You're the first person that's gotten that right, I think.
And the bearded Dawson is Zane.
That's right. The one with the mustache.
Bearded,
well, they both are pretty bearded. You're right. That's a good point. Welcome, boys. How you doing?
Man, thanks for having us. We're doing great.
Thanks. How we doing, guys?
I am having a very anxiety-filled night, stressful. I don't know if you guys are sports fans or baseball fans, but my team, the Red Sox, are playing tonight, and it's pretty stressful. But we'll get through it.
I heard you say you still got the game on the headphone
well,
while we're doing this combo.
Yeah, here it is. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be completely honest with you. The radio feed is here. The ESPN feed is there. I was going to take it out because I want to be professional. But then I was like, oh, shit, I can't. They're up 3-0 in the fourth inning, and I've had it in. Now I can't take it out. I just can't do it.
You're the guy in church that's screaming, they're cheaters! Fuck cheaters!
Yeah. Yes, I am. I am. So if I find it really distracting, I will take it out. I apologize in advance. But that's
we'll just take over and start talking. It'll be fine, man.
You guys are great,
you know?
great talkers.
We do, brother.
I listened to your podcast, all 3 episodes.
Oh well.
Before we got canceled.
Yeah. The Mama Please Don't Listen podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did your mom ever listen?
No, I told her not to. She didn't. Yeah. She listens, you know.
Good mama.
Yeah, we're trying to still toy in with some ideas about it. You know, when the pandemic hit everybody,
everyone did a podcast.
You know, started something. So we were just like, what can we do that's different? And I mean, we still plan to do it just because it's, you know, fun to do. But yeah, man, it was fun.
I enjoyed it tremendously. I got a ton out of it. Did you get? All right, let me go with this one. Can you guys explain the man pond for everyone out there listening?
Yeah, Dave, you want me to take this one? I'll take it.
That's you.
Yeah, no, it's so if you ever watch the show Rob and Big, they talk about it all the time. Where, you know, sometimes when you're a larger gentleman, you know what I mean? Like, and you have some bad Thai food or something, you know, you can't really control what happens back there sometimes. So me being an innovative young lad that I was, I put this is before the TV show, so I didn't steal the idea. Okay. Right. We just had the same idea, but no, I was like, well, I got to stop this leakage. You know, I can't have any leakage. So I need to prevent leakage, but I'm not plugging. I don't do the plug stuff. No. You know what I mean? So I don't so I was just going to block and, you know, just prevent my pants from being stained. So
and he ended up using it in a pro wrestling match as a kind of a spot. So he kept running to the bathroom legit and would come out with the toilet paper hanging out of his tights, sticking to his boot. Yeah. Stuff like that to make people entertained. But it was a shoot. He was really shooting in the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, I had to fold it up a couple of times, you know what I mean, and just block the exit, you know what I mean. But I mean, yeah, it was you got to do what you got to do whenever you're not trying to mess your pants up. You know,
I think that's very marketable. I think it's everybody deals with that.
Zane Pond.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Stephen, what's his name? Stephen P. New? Give me a trademark or whoever he's trademarking everybody nowadays.
Right. So everyone loves their trademarks.
That's right.
You guys are twins. I have 2 younger brothers that are twins, and they came out of the womb fighting, literally. They're 7 seconds apart. You 2 also came out of Mama Dawson fighting as well. Which one of you actually tried to kill the other when you came out of the womb?
Hey, let me tell my version, and then you can go into the whole deal about it. But
you mean I can go into the truth?
There's his version, and then there's the truth.
I'm allegedly the one that rolled on top. and my umbilical cord mysteriously, not intentionally, got wrapped around his throat. And they had to cut us out, man. Jaws of life. They had to get us out of my mama real quick. But it was me. I'm the culprit. I'm the guilty one.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday, man.
Yeah.
I'm just. Yeah, no, it was right when she went into labor, man. He I guess just rolled on top and was like, "I'm going out first. I'm getting out of this belly." So
had
Really
enough.
wasn't laying down. Nobody.
that's right.
I sort of related to that because my first daughter, when she came out of my lovely wife, wow, why are we now we talk about this?
Yeah,
The umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck 3 times, and that's
Wow.
actually I don't. Yeah, that's one umbilical cord. It was wrapped around her neck 3 times, and I freaked the fuck out. I was like, shit, I can't even imagine yours around his.
dude, I was dying. Like that's the reason they had to do it. They were like, one of your sons is dying right now." So,
Yeah.
and I mean, I was like purple when I came out and everything.
Yeah.
Like it was.
So legend has it, if my umbilical cord wasn't around his throat, he would be the older twin.
Yeah, I'd be 2 hours older. You know, I calculated it. So
It's the legend.
Some top class math there.
that's right. I was a genius when I came out.
But I'm glad it all worked out. We're all laughing about it now, but I'm sure it was a scary situation, and everyone is
Oh yeah.
is fine and doing great.
Oh yeah.
So the little Dawsons growing up, like the rest of us, I'm sure, phenomenal wrestling fans.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, just like any little kid that gets exposed to it. I mean, we came up, man, in the late 80s as far as right when we started watching it. So we had that
Yeah.
is what we, saw first was Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior and Big Boss Man and stuff like that. So those are the types of characters that we saw and immediately we're like, oh my gosh, what is this? You know what I mean? So it was from what I can remember. I mean, we were always infatuated with wrestling. So.
Oh yeah, we had every little Hasbro toy. We had every plush little beat 'em buddy or whatever the hell they were called back then. But
what were they called? Yeah. LJ, let's see, late 89. Yeah, LJNs. They had all those Hasbros. I don't even remember what those buddies were called. I think they were just called wrestling buddies. Yeah.
You have buddies or something like that.
Yeah.
Slam buddies.
What were they?
There we go. Slam buddies.
Slam buddies. Yeah, everyone. I've always said everybody either is or was a wrestling fan at one time. So you guys fit that bill for sure. At a young age, Dave, I'm going to ask you this. At a young age, who was the heel between you two, you or your brother?
Oh man, we were the heels of the family. We just tore every damn thing we had a chance to get a hold of. But if you're going between the two of them, I mean, it depended on the day because we were turning on each other swerving each other every damn day, bro.
So my younger brothers are twins, like I said, and they would do that. They would fight. They'd battle each other every day, all day. I don't think they ever got along, ever. But if you took them on, then it was like they just turned. They were now your tag team champs, and they would take on whoever would challenge them. You don't mess with twins. You don't mess with twins, period.
Yeah, it's a bond that, I mean, I have never felt with anybody else, but we were the same way. Like we had an agreement, hey, we ain't going to hit each other in the face. But everything else was game. I mean, we put each other through our parents' walls. I mean, we tore everything up. But like you said, once somebody would come up and try to push up, one of us or something like that, it was over. We would turn on them and jump. Like I'm the only one that gets to beat on my brother like that. Nobody else,
So the young Dawsons, with their wrestling buddies, taking everybody on. Out of the blue, you guys come straight out of Santa Barbara to Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's a culture shock.
Man, it was I mean, we were 7, so we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
To
And
you
like
guys, it was just shit. I gotta move.
Yeah, pack everything up in a little U-Haul and jump in the back of the station.
Homemade U-Haul, by the way. Our pops, shout out Daddy Dawson, built the damn trailer with his bare hands.
That's right. And we, for 5 days,
20 minutes in.
Yeah, we traveled across country at like 7 years old, not knowing what a road trip was. Like, we never been on anything or took family vacations. It was, normal everyday life. And then they're like, hey, guess what? We're moving to Fayetteville. Oh. And I mean, we moved in with our aunt and uncle and their kids. So it was like, it was rough. It was a real culture shock. Maybe I should talk to somebody about this, like
PTSD.
Gosh, I'm like thinking of it now. Like, this wasn't normal, but yeah, it was crazy, but it was normal for us. You know what I mean? Like, especially coming up.
Yeah. When did you guys you get there at 7? You guys are wrestling fans. You're getting into middle school, high school, Attitude Era time, I would say, if we're around the same time frame that I'm thinking. Yeah. When did it occur to you guys that maybe you wanted to get in the ring and wrestle?
Well, I mean, we've always
been
fighters. Like we were saying, tried everything out on each other move wise, and put my sister in the full Nelson and done a bunch of stuff, and we did the backyard stuff when we were young.
Oh yeah,
and that's a whole, you can do a whole episode on that. But then later on, Attitude Era, like you said, middle school, high school, and stuff. We started. That's when you started to think about your future a little bit, I guess. And we had no other, like, at the time, things that we wanted to do other than be pro wrestlers. So when we got the age, we found somebody that was horrible and didn't know what they were doing and taught us the terrible stuff that they knew, and we were just going with them. And then one day, we've told this story on a couple other podcasts, but we were doing a show and drawing fans at school gyms and stuff. There were 120 people at a show for some guys that didn't know nothing. And then some real twerkers came in, and they heckled us and stuff, and they were working us, and we were getting worked by them, and we were
getting pissed. I was mad.
They worked you into a shoe,
yelling. Yeah, dude,
and they finally let us know, like, we could seriously hurt you guys if you don't, get trained. We could literally come in here and change this and turn this whole thing upside down and shut it down, pretty much. So that kind of gave us a kick in the butt to want to, like, really, really get into it and learn how to really do this instead of just throwing your friends through a damn door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it was like when the Attitude Era came along, I mean, because, whenever you're growing up and kids are mean and you don't want to not look cool to your friends, so you kind of fall out of love of wrestling because people think it's weird. But whenever we started seeing, Stone Cold and stuff flicking people off, it was, oh my gosh. So we always wanted to stun people and rock bottom people and, like, Hogan leg drop people, and we were doing that, like, with this, like what Dave was talking about, and we didn't know anything. When these guys came up and pretty much put us in our place, it was like, man, now I really, really want to learn how to do this the right way. Like, it was a shock, but yeah, to answer the question, it was like around that time, that's whenever it was like we started seeing people that were interested in it also, and we were like, man, screw everybody, we love wrestling. So we definitely tried to do it immediately.
Definitely no backup plan.
I think I agree with you guys. Backyard wrestling is an entire show for us. One of these nights, Vanessa, we're gonna do a backyard wrestling show. We get people on like yourselves. I know Backyard Pro up in Canada. They do some legit filming. They do the seasons. It gets a bad rap, but it shouldn't get a bad rap.
Right. And I mean, we were trying to be the Undertaker and Kane and stuff. Like, we weren't trying to do light tubes or none of that stuff, which I'm not, bashing or none of that stuff. But it wasn't like hey, let's let's see how much blood we can have. We were trying to do storylines, and you know what I mean.
Well,
like
and
coming
damn
up
near
with,
everybody you talk to nowadays that's a pro wrestler tells you that that's where they all started. Now, back in the day, it was frowned upon. You were a Mizark if you did that, but now you're a pro wrestler if you started in the backyard. You know?
yeah, now it's accepted to be a 14, 15-year-old kid to start being interested in going to these training facilities, and they're like, "Oh, come on, kid!" Like we didn't have nothing like that around. Like it
We're
was
not allowed to.
right, and back then it was like, "You're 15, get out of here." You know what I mean? Come back when you're 18, kind of thing. But so once we immediately found something, we latched onto it. That's why he was saying we were doing those shows with the guys who were inexperienced, because we were like wrestling, you know.
Trey Gilbert opened the forbidden door to be indie icons for you guys. You know, to get started. He was an indie icon. He opened that door for you. What is that? What does Trey Gilbert mean to you guys?
Wow.
Man, that's a great question. Like I can't really describe it, man. He didn't know us from nothing.
Yeah.
You know, we were just some big out of shape kids, and there was a couple other guys with us that we all went as a group, and without knowing anything, just having one conversation with us, he took a chance on us, man. And like that, to me, when you're selfless like that and you don't prejudge people, like there's nothing you can say, but like I'll never not have love for Trey G, man. He's like he changed my life, literally. Like
most wrestlers, they get trained and they have great relationships with their trainers and give them all the credit and stuff like that. But we've gotten to move past just the trainer student level, and like, man, I mean, he hangs out with my daughter, and my daughter loves him, and we go and hang out at his house and swim in the pool and beat up his kids and do all kinds of stuff. Like he's family, man, and it's above the trainer level. Like he's another one that we're the only ones we can mess with him. Like anybody steps to him, it's on sight, man.
Yeah, like, and I mean, it was like just the fact, like I said, he didn't have to, and he was like, you know what, I see something in these kids, and we met him when we were 17, 18, so we learned how to be, not our father taught us how to be a man, but like he showed us how to be a man out here and in the streets kind of thing. So it was like, I mean, he did all that for nothing. You know, he didn't charge us a dime. Like we were wanting to pay, he didn't charge us a dime. He saw something in us, and I'll never be able to repay him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love those stories. That's why I wanted to ask that question, because a lot of the people we've talked to on here, you get the names like the Trey Gilberts, like the Trey G's. I've never heard of them. Never heard of them. I hear people like yourselves speak so highly of them, and I'm just like, man, like there's like this there's like this underworld in the wrestling. Like he took a chance and he saw something, and it's great stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, he had his own career going on too. So to pause that and then go over here and help 5-6 kids that he's not even making money on.
It's selfless. It's
right. It just, to me,
selfless.
that's the type of human being that I want to be. You know what I mean? So yeah, he means the world to me. Like, yeah, and Dave also. You know what I mean? Like he's
that's why whenever we do get on these podcasts or anywhere, or Facebook posts or Twitter posts or anything, we shout his name out to everybody, just because, like you said, there's guys don't get the recognition that they should. He's a selfless guy that deserves to be shouted out from everybody. But like you said, there's a ton of guys that are like that, trainers that are great trainers that took chances on guys just like me and my brother that don't get the credit, man. Shout out to y'all. All y'all.
Phenomenal. Something you guys said on your own podcast, you're like, Trey introduced you and put you around, surrounded you with talent, knowledge, experience, people like Tracy Smothers, people like George South, Rock and Roll Express, and that's smart. and that's like you said, Zane. That stuff you can't repay that. That's priceless.
Yeah, especially now looking back, and rest in peace. A lot of these guys have passed on.
Yeah, Bobby
and
Eaton. Yeah,
man, Bobby Eaton, rest in peace. Tracy Smothers, rest in peace. There's so many that
yeah.
And we look back on it, and we didn't take it for granted because these guys are old school. So if you're there, you better be listening. But it was like we wanted to soak everything up like sponges, So, but being around those and then looking back now, and it's like, oh man, like we were literally in the ring with Bobby Eaton and Dennis Condrey, the Midnight Express,
the original,
like, and looking back on it, I'm like, man, we were in multiple matches with these guys in a little podunk town in Clinton, North Carolina. You know what I mean? Just killing it and wrestling and just learning from these guys. Same thing with like the Rock and Roll Express and George South and Larry Zbyszko. I mean, who gets to hang out with Larry Zbyszko? We were around a multiple
story about all that is that's how we learned how to do punches. Was one day we did a big legend show. It's how we learned how to throw our punches. We did a big legend show, and then the next day we were doing training with Smothers and George South and Ricky Morton. We're super excited. Get there, and the ring boards were all wet, right?
Yeah, it was
or something. So we lay the canvas out on the grass, and we're waiting to learn from the bits, and they say, well, we ain't got no ring for you to train in, so practice your punches on this brick wall over here. And we're like, how do you practice that? And he's like, try not to cut your damn knuckles up. So literally that's how we were practicing punches on a brick wall in front of Ricky Morton, Tracy Smothers, and George South. Crazy. In Clinton, North Carolina.
And I mean, who knows how much of that was just carny stuff that they were laughing at? Like, hey, look at it. Let's watch these kids bloody their knuckles. This would be funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was one of them things where they were like, we ain't setting the ring up. Come on, we want to teach you guys like the ins and outs of the work, of what it comes to be a wrestler. But like all that to me is mind blowing whenever I think back on it, man, because it was so special, especially now. Like, I mean, to have the Midnight Express like give us a standing ovation when we got done with a wrestling match against two of our other buddies. It wasn't on TV. It wasn't even being filmed, I don't think. And they're, they were teaching us. They taught us how to do this, So it's great, man.
Even if it was some carny shit. Damn, we didn't scuff up
Oh yeah, we quit punching the wall real fast.
You learned how to throw a punch real quick,
real fast. Yeah.
The first time I ever saw you guys was on NWA, and I think that was before this whole shutdown. Yeah. If that feels so long ago, it's unreal, unbelievable. What was that experience like in the NWA? You guys wrestled. Was it the Rock and Roll Express in NWA, or at least?
We wrestled them Friday.
You did wrestle them Friday at Throwdown in G-Town. That's right.
Yeah. But we were around them in NWA, but we didn't get a chance to work with them in NWA. We wrestled Eddie Kingston and Homicide a bunch.
Right. Yep.
Storm, Eli Drake, or LA Knight now. I don't know how everybody goes by that, but we got to work with some up-and-comer guys that are doing real good now on NWA. Mims, we got to work with him.
Okay.
The old big strong boy.
That's right.
We got to work with the bouncers and big old boys.
Oh yeah, friends of the show.
Good.
Yeah.
We got to step in the ring with each other and beat the crap out of each other and fight each other in NWA ring.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it brought full circle. You know what I mean? It was like our first quote unquote match we had was against each other, and then one of the last ones we had for NWA was against each other. So
I had that written down. The greatest match I ever saw was Nightmare with a K, and
wow.
What was the other guy's name? It was Blaze.
Yeah,
Blaze and Nightmare.
I heard that. I heard of that.
Because we ain't never seen that shit.
Daniel Messina's the only one with a copy, so unless you talk to him, nah.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Daniel, that's
that's Daniel. That's Daniel.
I tell you what, I loved your guys' pod. I loved your podcast. So if you ever get the chance to do another episode here or there, I highly recommend it because you guys, first of all, you love to talk. You got great stories. You're entertaining. You're real. And I loved it.
Fly too. Them characters were day of the podcast. We were like, hey, let's come up with a character commercial.
Well, because I was like, hey, I was doing it on Anchor, and I know they wanted me to film or they wanted me to record like an Anchor commercial. So I'm like, dude, why don't we just do our own commercials and plug them in like we're doing this?
They're great.
So we just started coming up with random stuff.
Uncle Pappy's. It's great.
Pappy's beard butter.
That's what it was.
Creamy beard butter.
You need a used car, used, new, old, left behind. Go to McCreegery's Auto.
Need all
good credit, no credit, bad credit.
Yeah. It was great stuff. I do. I know that Anchor wants you to cut their goddamn Anchor Pro. I did it with my Macho Man Randy Savage impression.
Yeah. Why not? Right?
Plug it right in. Yeah, for sure. Oh, it's fun stuff. So Rock and Roll Express at Throwdown in G-Town this past weekend, right?
Yeah. It was on Friday, man. It was in a huge ball field that they have in Gastonia, North Carolina. It was like the first sporting event that they had. It was a brand new stadium, and I mean, we packed it out. There was a bunch of people there, and they were hot for some rock and roll, boy. But we beat them up real good.
Yeah, they deserve a beating.
They
can take a beating too, Brian.
Making me punch a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming for you, Ricky Morton. 20 years in the making.
It's full circle.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Rock and Roll Express, they're known for their hot tags. Everybody knows that. They define the hot tag by the Rock and Roll Express. If the Dawsons were going to make a hot tag, who is tagging who?
Oh man,
that would imply that we are babyface, which would.
Hey, see, you're reading my show notes. That's leading to the next question. Yeah.
Well, I would say since Dave has more experience of being a babyface because he's had a couple, probably 4 or 5 babyface runs in his career.
That babyface run when your teammate spits in your face and kicks.
That's right. You gotta have a comeback real fast whenever I turn on you every other month. But no, I think Dave would get the hot tag. He comes in and does the yeah baby and gets him going, and he'll start throwing drop kicks.
I'm Robert. I'm old Hizu and old.
There you go.
There.
Yeah, there you go. I'm Punky. I'm taking the heat. I'm doing the Ricky Morton crawl to the ropes. You know what I mean? I'm doing the crawl to the ropes. Help me, fans. I mean, come on.
I'm the one that don't want to do nothing.
Just stands there, waits for the hot tag.
Hey, look, I'll get you in a full Nelson, okay?
Bro, I ain't doing no drop kick.
But no, Dave would definitely be in there doing the hot tag.
I'm a cheerleader, brother.
There you go. So that does lead me to my next question. Everything I've watched of you guys, you had always been heels. Heels. But you guys are babyface now. You guys are lovable.
Yeah, I mean, when we were, when the pandemic hit, it forced a lot of people to do a lot of things. You know? And one thing that it forced me and my brother to do was do a lot of self-reflection. And it was, we had to realize that we aren't mad at anybody. You know what I mean? Like what we got to be mad about? And wrestlers, like the stuff you did a year ago to me in the wrestling ring, like I'm not upset with you anymore. So we had to be a babyface because what we got to be mad about? You know what I mean? But right when wrestling came back, we turned full blown heel again. So I mean, it's back to being bitter old, grizzled guys. So
hating everybody.
Yeah, for about 6 months we had to turn babyface, sell some t-shirts.
Yeah. Book the Dawsons. Turn babyface. Hashtag book the Dawsons. Forgot to push that.
Yeah, every booking that we do, we're baby faces and we turn heel when we walk out the curtain. I mean, not really, but
I'm just picturing I'm picturing Zane doing the crawl across the.
Oh man, it's glorious, town.
We actually have. There is a couple babyface matches if you go do your searching right. You can find them out there.
Yeah, I do the Ricky roll in one of them. I think
he's boogie woogie man. He does the boogie knees. He does it all. Man. I actually do some young lion rolls.
Yeah, he's trying to dive on people, and so I told him, I said, Dave, listen, Dave, we're not young anymore. You know what I'm saying? He's like, no, I can cut this tope, man. I promise I can get it. Like, okay, man. Yeah.
Oh man, what do you think Bert Brewington is doing these days?
I don't know, probably shitting himself. Or excuse my language.
You're fine.
Okay, yeah.
Probably, honestly, is like running his daddy's oil company or something. I have no idea. Man, I should look him up.
No, man, no. Listen, he. I'm sure he's changed his life or whatever the case may have been.
After the podcast?
Yeah, I'm sure. Or after that ass whooping you gave him in high school. But hopefully it was then because, there's crappy people in the world. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm not opposed to giving them what they deserve whenever it comes to correction. You know what I mean? So
if you ask for it,
if he wants it, come on, Bert. Just 20 years ago.
Go round two.
Bert Brewington and Jackson tag team and versus the Dawsons. That's what it was. Let's do it. Oh man, I fell in love with that podcast. Listen, I loved them. I wanted more. It was great.
Back just
there you go.
Can you after the show tonight, you two just record something for 30 minutes, send it to me.
Yeah, directly. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll work. I mean, there's Ricky Morton taking a shit in a demo toilet. I mean, you don't get any better than that.
All of it is true too. That's the thing. People get on these podcasts and they like to wizard everybody.
Yeah.
Look, he really in there.
Yeah, we have so many stories like that. There's so many
air either. You got. Brother, I got a cookware story that will blow your effing mind apart, dude. It's crazy.
We got a story about Tracy Smothers cussing people out at Golden Corral.
Oh, man.
Eating a steak with ketchup on it, while he's cutting his steak up. It's just crazy story.
Who the fuck?
Yeah, it's just we have so many
showing
stories.
Us young boys what these big superstars have to deal with.
And I don't know if I'm speaking for them or not, but they might have looked at these little shows we were on as little carny, mud shows and been like, let's just go have fun with these kids. Yeah. And maybe that's the Rock and Roll Express we got. Maybe that's the Tracy Smothers we got. But I love that. I don't care. But we have so many stories like that, and that's why we were thinking about coming up with that style of podcast because we have endless, and we could go back and forth. I mean, we have 30 some odd years of being twin brothers, always around each other since birth. So we have plenty of content, when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, man, we got so many stories about those guys.
Oh man, it just makes me laugh.
Making me want to bring that thing back now.
Yeah, right? Oh man, good stuff. Well, Dawson's, we are nearing the end of the show. I've plugged all your stuff in the chat tonight. Your Twitters. You got the Zane Dawson on Twitter and Instagram. You got Dawson Brand PW on both as well, and ProWrestlingTees.com/Dawson's Shop. My favorite shirt is the picture of your guys' faces. Kind of looks like skull faces, sort of. Says Zane and Dave underneath, and I think Dawson Brothers are on the top.
Oh, it's the new one. Yeah, the new one that we just put up. Yeah.
And I like it in white.
Yes.
White on black.
See, Dave, I told you the white one will go.
Look, Mike Tyson, Jim, Ali, Jim. That's kind of
that's the feeling. But what I like to do at the end of every show is I'm gonna give you guys the mic. You guys can say whatever you want. You can put over anything you want. You can bear anyone you want. You can let us know anything. I'm not going to interrupt, and the floor is yours, my friends.
First of all, let me go start because you can bury whoever. I just want to thank y'all for having us on, man. Putting us over, guys and gals and cast and crew, for having us on, man. It's honestly, this has for me been probably one of the most fun podcasts I've been a part of, man. For somebody to pay attention that much to us, it makes me feel good, and I appreciate it, man. And fuck everybody else. So go ahead.
There you go.
Dave, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was going. Nah, man, same thing. We appreciate it. I mean, if this is the chance for us to tell people what they should do, just YouTube us, man. Like we're not. We ain't been doing this for 2 weeks. We've been wrestling for 18 plus years. We have plenty of experience, and I mean, just being able to get on here and talk to you about the old school stuff and me not feel like we're talking to some, it's refreshing. So, I mean, man, we appreciate everything, but go follow us, go get a t-shirt, man, and we'll spit in your kid's face when we see you at a show. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much where it comes from. I'm trying to make kids cry. That's my goal. Like Dave maybe going out trying to have a good match or whatever like that. I'm just like, if I can make one kid cry, I'm good.
There you go.
No, and if this is a place to plug or shout or call anything out, like we ain't signed to nowhere, we're not held down by anywhere. If anybody wants to book the Dawsons, all you have to do is go to bookthedawsons@gmail, and we offer a very different approach on pro wrestling, and it's old school mixed with new school, but we have our own style also, and it's us. And if you want that style, you hit us up, man. You know where to find us. And
and I mean, if you want to book us to fight, if you want to book us for a birthday party, I'll come fight somebody for money. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't
beat up the clown at your kid's birthday. We don't give a damn.
Like we'll come to your birthday party. I'll big boot the clown, give him a choke slam, you know what I'm saying, and we'll leave. You know, we're
I'll
not
be baby face, and then we'll we do it all. We can juggle. We can
I breathe fire, even though I got this huge beard.
We do Shakespeare. You saw us on damn NWA doing Shakespeare, brother. If that don't tell you nothing, then, I mean.
I'm thinking about it right now. My two younger brothers, twins, they need an ass whooping. They have a twin versus twin match. You guys are wrestling August in New York, right?
All day, yeah.
I love the thumbnail. Love the thumbnail of us. Little kids with my chiclets.
Yeah, right. Bust them up. Anyways, Dawson, you guys, truly are just two great humans. Entertaining, fun to talk, easy to talk to, which makes my job easier. And you're welcome back anytime. You need to plug a show, you want to plug a show, or just come talk about fucking whatever. I don't care.
Awesome, man. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for having us. And we'll come back on the Backyard Show, man. We got plenty of fireworks stories.
Yeah, let's do it.
Got caught on fire for real.
Awesome. Zane, Dave, go have yourself a wonderful rest of the night or whatever you need to do, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, guys. Look the damn Dawson!
Peace.
Thanks.
Awesome. Oh, great stuff.